for MyMMAnews.com, being joined by lethal Liam Nolan. He is here right here in my home state of Newark, Delaware. He is doing a Muay Thai seminar at Chalky Athletics. Check him out, Newark, Delaware. You find some of the best Muay Thai in the tri-state area. But before we get into that, we got to talk about the seminar in itself. Liam, one fighter, WBC champion, the list goes on, and only in your mid-20s, man. First and foremost, thank you for joining me. How are you?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very good, mate. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure, man. Like I said, mid-20s, you've accomplished so much in such a young career, man. Like we were talking about before the interview, Liam Harrison, blowing you up. And you started training early. Why?
Why did I start training? I don't know. I was always really fascinated by martial arts. And before I was doing Thai boxing, I was doing Wing Chun, I was doing Taekwondo, I actually did a bit of MMA as well. And yeah, I always just took a fascination to combat and being able to defend myself. And like I said, when I was doing all the other martial arts, I was doing them like every week from when I was about 12. And then I had a friend of mine, he introduced me to Thai boxing. He said, "Oh, just come to my local gym." He was training there. And immediately, like my first day of training there, I just fell in love with it. And I went back to train the next day. And, I sort of forgot about all the other stuff I was doing. And just that was it from then on. That one day of training, it was Thai boxing from then on, yeah, for me.
So again, you're still young, have a prosperous career already. You have so much more left to accomplish. But with the seminar, you're going on tour here in the U.S., doing your thing.
Yeah.
What are you trying to instill in some of these young athletes that are coming up, trying to make a stamp in the sport like yourself? What are you going around, and I'm not telling you to give away what you're teaching at the seminars, but what's some of the basics that you're trying to instill that mean a lot for you that you think these fighters could use?
Well, I'm just trying to teach like stuff that I would use. I always say in these seminars, you see some guys when they're teaching seminars, they use like jumping stuff, flashing techniques, probably stuff that you would never use, but it's just fun for the seminar. But when I'm trying to teach, I'm trying to do like stuff people genuinely use, like stuff that I've used in my fight, stuff that I think that works. And like I say this in every seminar, like if they come away and they take like 2 or 3 things that they'll genuinely use, then it's been worth it for them. Yeah.
So again, like you said, something that they can take away. And obviously what you're teaching and what these guys, it means so much. What does it mean to you that you're able to give back to them? Because again, you're so young, and I keep harping on this, but again, mid-20s, and you've done so much in your young career. Yeah. What does it mean that you're able to give back to these guys?
Yeah, like it's great. It's probably one of the best feelings. Like if I get a message back on Instagram from someone saying, "Oh, like I learned so much from you," or like they watch my fights and it inspires them, it motivates them. Like that is probably one of the best feelings. Like other than winning a fight, it's one of the best feelings.
Speaking of winning a fight, you're on a 2-fight winning streak. Got a lot of momentum in your back pocket. Right. Messed up on my homework there. Yeah. But so, what do you got coming up next?
Coming up next, I don't know. Like we've got talks to either defend my title in the UK, which is where I want to do it. I don't want to like travel and defend it. I want to do it at home, or back on one championship. And I think it could be a really big one-on-one championship. So I won't say too much, but yeah.
Speaking of one championships, obviously they're doing huge things. What's it like to be a part of something that's growing and just doing and including a sport like Muay Thai in a dominant MMA promotion? They're bringing all facets of combat sports into one.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. And now they've just brought in the submission grappling as well.
Mm-hmm. So you got Danielle Kelly. She just had a big win.
Yeah. So it's like it's got something for everyone, and to be part of it now, my last fight I won a 50k bonus, which was like life-changing money, for someone who's coming to Muay Thai, and there's not a lot of money in this sport, and then to win that, is incredible. And I definitely want to stay with one championship. Like it speaks for themselves, the stuff they're doing. It's amazing.
And I want to talk to you a little bit about Muay Thai in the sport in itself, because I commentate, I announce for Muay Thai promotions, but obviously, as you know, MMA is kind of the big thing right now. You have bare knuckle that's making its big thing too, but Muay Thai is such a sport of tradition, such honor, and it doesn't get the credit it deserves. It's kind of being overshadowed by other combat sports. Yeah. And I tell everybody that I get a chance to talk to that's such a fan of MMA, they're the first ones that as soon as the fight hits the ground, they start to boo. They don't know what's going on. Yeah. But with Muay Thai, you get everything as far as striking goes in an MMA bout. Yeah. Just you don't have to worry about the grappling part. So why is it that it seems like Muay Thai is kind of set aside? It's a little bit lacking as far as the popularity and momentum going.
Yeah, that's a good question. I get asked that a lot, actually, and I really don't know the answer why. Like, why is it not caught on, you know? Because everyone, like you said, when they watch an MMA fight, they love the stand-up bit to it. And then, like, the casual fans don't understand the groundwork, and the stand-up is just basically Muay Thai, right? So why not just watch the Muay Thai? So I really don't know why it's not caught on, but I think it's getting bigger. Like, from the time I first started to where it is now, you know, there's more money in it. There's more opportunity for fighters. So I think, to be honest, by the time I end up stop fighting, it will be bigger for the guys who then end up, you know. So I'm going to be a coach and, you know, help them after. Yeah,
Bring
yeah,
the money in that way.
yeah. But I think it is getting there. It is getting there, and I see it getting bigger and bigger.
Does that mean something to you? Like you said, towards the end of your career, you're going to see the start money. I mean, you're hypothesizing, but being able to see the money coming in, but you're going to be able to be a part of that long-lasting legacy, that build it to where it is, along with other fighters. You know, there's so many we can name off the top of our heads.
Yeah.
But what's that going to mean to you that you're going to be able to set those building blocks for it to make it where you think it should be?
Yeah, I mean, I never got into Muay Thai for money, to be honest. Anyway, like if you do get into Muay Thai for money, you know, it's the wrong choice. But yeah, I mean, like that is ultimately what I want to do. Like I want to finish my career, win as much, you know, titles, and you know, fight the best fighters out there. And then when that is done, my plan is to like have my own training gym, you know, teach my guys, and hopefully have a bunch of fighters, you know, I can train and show where I went wrong and show what they can do better, and you know, help them. Yeah, that's my goal.
I want to talk about some of the accolades in itself. I mean, obviously, you're with one now. You have the WBC title in your pocket. And one of our good friends, Lisa Lynn, she kind of ripped my question off me when she was taking questions from you.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about the Yusuf fight, man.
Yeah.
So much, and I was with Liam Harrison, he talked about it as well. There was so much stacked against you in that fight.
Yeah.
And you're not one to shy away to talk about your nerves.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they might, you know, be the this, that, and the other, the hard guy, but this is a nerve-wracking sport. Anybody that says it doesn't cause any nerves or they don't get nervous before a fight, I think they're lying.
Yeah.
So that being said, everything's stacked against you. How is it winning that fight? How is it like dealing? Can you encapsulate the experience?
Man, it was a hard night's work. You know, I went to Yusuf's backyard. You know, and everyone knows who Yusuf is. He's one of the, you know, the best Muay Thai fighters of this generation. And, you know, I think he had a 7-year winning streak in Muay Thai, not lost, you know. So I had everything against me, you know, in his backyard with the ref and the judges were really being funny with me during the fight. And yeah, I was nervous before the fight. I did feel the pressure of it, like before it, on the, you know, during the day of the fight. That's normal, you know, that's because it means something to me.
Right.
But I remember being in the fight and I'm feeling really good, actually, like feeling like really focused and everything that I had to do, and I was listening really well to my coaches, and what we did in training came out really well, and yeah, when they raised my hand, you know, the new champion of the world, wow, you know, it meant so much to me. I got emotional in the ring, you know, tears and stuff like that, which you shouldn't do as a fighter, but like, I couldn't help it, you know, since I was a kid, I wanted to be a world champion, and to beat a guy like Yusuf for the belt, you know, it was amazing. Like I see a lot of WBC fights now, like they're giving out belts left, right, and centre now. But you know, the way I did it that day, you know, I'm very proud of that one because I beat like the guy for it, you know, to take it. So yeah, very proud of that one.
The WBC belt has a long lineage of history behind it. Again, I'm not gonna speak on what they're doing with their belts now, but definitely when you fought it, you definitely earned it.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. This is an emotional sport. A lot of emotions go into it and pack into it. A lot of it's going to come out at the end of the fight. Why do you feel like you shouldn't have gotten emotional in the ring? I
just, like, for me, you know, I think you should be cold. You know, I think you should be ice cold. You know, in the ring, like you don't show no emotion during the fight, and like you should just get on with it and not show anything. But after this one, I couldn't help it, you know, because of what I went through as well before the fight. You know, COVID, had so many pullouts. You know, people not wanting to fight or COVID restrictions. You know, like I was in a fight camp for about like 2 years. I was training for fights that just kept getting pulled out. So finally, and then we was meant to fight, me and Yusuf were meant to fight at the start, and that one didn't happen. And the second time round, and then the fight went so well. And yeah, just after all of that, you know, it's just such a big build-up, you know, 2 years, and then finally, wow, like big title, big name, you know, yeah, I couldn't help it, but feel emotional.
I completely understand. Well, I can't say I personally understand, but I can imagine how good it felt for you.
Yeah.
I want to dive back. I'm going to go back and forth bouncing. When obviously you're where you are now with one fighting championships, you had the WBC strap in your back pocket. When did it finally click and hit you that I'm living out my dream?
Oh man, when I to be honest, when I like stopped working, I stopped working a normal sort of 9 to 5 job, and just fully committed to like Thai boxing. Like now, like that is my living. You know, that is how I earn my money. That's everything. You know, I'm in the gym, I'm teaching, doing my seminars. You know, doing my fights. You know, and now I've got a full-time income. Like that is what I dreamt about doing, and yeah, you know, I'm living it. So it's for me, it's what I've always wanted to do, and I'm very happy and proud of that. Yeah.
You got a lot of hardware with you. You got the belts are coming. I know you want to get that one belt. So
yeah.
What goals are left? Let me just put it that way.
Well, that is it. You know, to collect all the major titles. You know, I've got the WMC, I've got the WBC. Other than the stadium titles, I think, you know, the stadium titles in Thailand, the one championship is the one that makes sense right now because I'm signed to them. So that is the one we're going for now. Yeah.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you this, just because of the mixed rules fighting being an option with one.
Yeah.
Would that be anything of interest? And what did you think of the Rod Tang and DJ fight?
It was a good fight. I sort of thought what happened. Everyone sort of thought what happened was going to happen. You know, he got choked out, but it was good. You know, and I thought DJ did well in that first round. He was clocking Rod Tang a few times. Thought he did like really well with his footwork and stuff as well. But yeah, I would do it 100%. Yeah, why not? I need to learn the groundwork first though, because I've been doing a bit since I've been out here in America, like just learning like a few things. But yeah, I would do it 100%. Yeah.
Any names in the one banner that you want to take on, that you have a bucket list of competitors that you want to get in there? Dance with?
What for the Muay Thai?
Yeah.
For the Muay Thai, you know, the guy who just fought Nicky Holskin, he knocked Nicky out, Sin Samut. I think me and him would be a great fight, and that should be for the one title. Like me and him should do that for the one championship belt, and yeah, there's some talks about it. So hopefully we can do that.
And you've been at the sport a long time. You've had the opportunity to get in there with the traditional Thai boxing gloves. Now with the cross promotion with one, you're fighting with the little gloves.
Yeah.
What's the difference, and what do you prefer?
So at the start, because I've obviously done my whole career in the big gloves, I preferred doing it in them. But now I'm starting to really like the little gloves. When you land a nice solid punch, like, oh, feels good. So I'm starting to like that. But it's really extreme. Like, you know, if you think in America and England, we've got C, B and A class. You know, A class being with elbows, C class, you know, not without, B class somewhere in the middle. And now this is like A class plus, you know, this is like the extra A class, you know, elbows and then little gloves. You know, it's real dangerous, it's real exciting. And, you know, I can see why they put it on, because it's fun to watch, you know, it's exciting, and yeah, I'm starting to like it now, so yeah.
With combat sports being on the rise, man, this will be my final one before I let you go.
Yeah.
Some people, they want to get into jiu-jitsu for their reasons. Some people want to get into MMA. Obviously, Muay Thai, it spoke to you. For anybody thinking about getting in there, finding their local Muay Thai gym, or just getting in there, combat sports or Muay Thai, why do you think Muay Thai is the sport for them?
Muay Thai, well, for me personally, my reasons of getting into it was because I love the sort of Western boxing style. You know, it's got that sport element to it. But it's also got that martial art, that respect element to it. You know, all mixed in one. You know, like sometimes if you go to a taekwondo, it's just purely martial arts. It's not really got that competitive sport. Or if you just go to boxing, it can be sometimes like it's just the sport. You know, there's no like background and history to it. Whereas Muay Thai, I think it has it all in one, you know, and that's what I like about it. And you know, for kids as well, you know, it's great for kids to like teach them some discipline. You know, for me, it's made my life so disciplined, and you know, without discipline, you know, we're nothing. We all need routine, we all need discipline, and that's what it can give you.
I heard you say something, and I said this was going to be my last thing. This will be my last thing.
Okay.
I heard you say something during the seminar I found interesting, and you're saying that whatever you hate, do it the most.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, you should do. I heard this on a podcast with Mike Tyson actually, and he said you should do the thing you hate like you love it. You know, so what's the worst thing you're, you know, in the gym in Muay Thai? What's the thing you're the worst at? Let's say it's clinching. Well, that's the thing you got to do the most. You know, that's the thing you got to practice the most, and you got to do it like you love it, you know, until that's your best quality is clinching, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
All right, well, Liam, I really appreciate you taking the time. I can't wait to see you back in the cage in 1FC. And thank you for coming to my home state of Newark, Delaware, and getting it done for all of Chalk D Athletics.
Nice, man. Enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right.
I do it every interview. Somebody does
that should go in.